Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're starting a series for LEGO The Hobbit. Now, I just played LEGO The Lord of the Rings, and it wasn't a very good game in my opinion. Didn't tell me much about the story, which I had hoped it would have, because then I played Shadow of Mordor. Fortunately, Shadow of Mordor, which is a adult game set after the events of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, uh, doesn't really need for doesn't really require you to know any story either. So now, in the same backwards release schedule as the movies, they released LEGO The Hobbit game after um, LEGO Lord of the Rings, even though the Hobbit story happens a generation before. So it's kind of a prequel Star Wars type thing. Uh, I'm hoping because this game was released later that they improved it quite a lot, because there was a lot to improve on it. Some good ideas in the original game, just poorly implemented. I think they were far too focused on using audio from the movie itself, which sounded pretty awful, and not doing anything else. I want to point out that the safe zone apparently is very important, because it is popped this up right at the beginning, and it didn't have the resolution at the right resolution either, so I had to go all the way to 1080p and adjust everything, but that's not a big deal. Is an interesting question. Do I personally want bloom or depth of field or motion blur on? Maybe not on some of those, but they're by default on, so I'll leave them on. I only have a tendency to turn things to high if they're not at high, since I can usually handle it. And I think that's all we really need to do for setup, so let's just hop into LEGO The Hobbit right now. Again, I didn't know the story of the Lord of the Rings. I don't really know the story of The Hobbit. I think I may have seen a play based on the book many decades ago, but that's it. So, this is, I think Bilbo Baggins is the Hobbit, so the father of, or uncle, or whoever, the elder Hobbit. Frodo is the character in Lord of the Rings. Let's begin. New game save, yep. I can tell this is definitely a newer LEGO game in the fact that it has like 3 character pack DLC. Garbage to take some more money from you.
Dear Frodo, you asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about my adventures. It began long ago, in a land far away to the east. There was the city of Dale.
Oh, that's like way further than Mordor, it looks like.
For this city lay before the doors of the greatest kingdom in Middle-earth, Erebor.
Look at that dragon
Stronghold of
kite.
Thrall,
That was cool.
king under the mountain, mightiest of the dwarf lords. His line lay secure in the lives of his son and grandson.
So I think the rings of power are all around.
Even the great elven king, Thranduil.
Or they've already come and gone. I don't even know what happened to the other rings of power.
Ah, Frodo, Erebor.
My liege, our king asks you to go and oversee today's mining operation.
So the audio sounds pretty good so
Within
far.
the mountain itself, the beauty of this fortress city was great.
Here we can see a grapple point that we probably don't have the ability to grapple yet. That's almost certainly a free sell thing. A free play thing, not free sell thing. Ooh, get my head in the game, Rydo. Get your head in the game. It looks considerably better than Lord of the Rings. did. This is that new or high resolution polish or the LEGO games have a tendency to have now. So that's good. That's good. That's a good step to make. And we're running around collecting these things when I really don't need to. Collectibles and coins on their first playthrough through the stories, you're not going to get a lot. You can see there's birds up here that I would need a special character that could throw something at them. So we've hit this wall, and we can't break that door open, so we're gonna have to open it a different way. Break some things. There's this other thing that says X. Press and hold Y to bring up the game wheel and select someone else. Really? Already? Select the rune. Amazing. Use a warhammer such as the one carried by this guy to move dwarven push blocks. Press X to smash them over to tracks. So already, wow, that was cool. That was a cool way to depict that. Already we're doing like a full character wheel swap here. They have the loot and the backpack concept that was from the original game, the Lord of the Rings game, and I kind of like this concept. It just was a little weird. It looks like loot now is a full-on collectibles thing. I've never seen a LEGO game do this, where we're gonna need a certain number of gold, copper, and silver for things. Interesting. This will certainly be a new way to play a LEGO game. That's what I really love about the LEGO series, is they're not afraid to experiment. They sometimes are a little too quick to abandon things that just need a little bit more polish, but at least they try something. It's kind of a shame, though. I think the Lord of the Rings story, even as someone who's not really even a fan of the story, there's kids over there, this is kind of like the Harry Potter hallway with the magic stairs. I think that game needs a remake. I think you could probably pretty soon here, because it's getting close to like 10 years on of LEGO games, start remaking some of your older games and improving on them, giving different levels, doing some different things. I'm having a little bit of stuttering going on here. What is going on with everything? I left another game running. I bet. Yeah, I did. I left a second game running in the background of my computer, and it's taking up my graphics card's processor. It's done it several times. Hopefully we can get through this level and I'll fix that. So what's this? So we can pick up a rock. And then hold X to throw. That's what this would have told us. And the dwarf kicks the chicken, and then they all start eating the chicken and stop guarding the doorway. But we're supposed to be here. It's hardly like
its wealth
we're not in charge.
In precious gems hewn from rock, and in great seams of gold.
running like rivers through stone.
It's a little odd that we haven't found any collectibles yet. Like, maybe that's one up there. So they're miners and they're looking at different types of gems. Let's see. Now normally you'd have to push that. That is kind of amazing that they've just eliminated the total need for something like that. Hit Y, switch over to this guy. Jump over here and grab this one. And the door will swing open by itself. That probably is a collectible. It's not a very brightly colored collectible if it is. Well, filling in our true dwarf bar, I don't even know what it would be called, true hero. Probably won't be called true dwarf, if I was to guess. Now, one thing I will be a little critical about the Hobbit story, from what I could probably guess, if it's anything like the Lord of the Rings story, a lot of it is just almost nothing happening. So, it's not super surprising that this first level is just us wandering around the place we're supposed to be wandering around, fighting no enemies, just tutorializing. Useful items can be made at the anvil with LEGO loot found within LEGO objects. Okay, what does that mean? Which object is a LEGO object? This looks like it. So I gotta collect those. And apparently he's afraid of something over there. Like, that character in particular seems to be afraid of whatever's in these cages. Well, that character too seems to be afraid of what's ever in that cage. I can't see it clear enough to figure out what it is. There's some like magical bricks, which 2 are collectibles? Oh. So, this is a decent way to force a player, press B to enter small LEGO hatches. Yeah, I bet dwarves. This forces the player to run around and smash everything, which most LEGO games are for little kids anyway, so that makes all the sense in the world that they'd want to run around and smash things anyways, but encouraging it's not a bad idea. You could certainly get in a rush and lower the number of hours you'll play on a LEGO game, but I don't think you could do it by much. Most LEGO games want you to play the levels at least twice through and take at least 30 hours. So we're getting gold bricks over there. More people asleep on the job. Give me that. Studs. What's this one say? A special key is needed to open this door. Okay. Press B when staying beside the lock to place it. Alright. I don't think in blacksmithing or smithing at all, because there was some other color smithings too. There was goldsmithing and whitesmithing and depending on the metal you worked with was what kind of smith you were. But I don't think in smithing ever you would have more than 2 people slamming on a piece of metal on an anvil at once. You may have a couple more holding the metal straight, you may have a couple more even maybe stoking the metal or pouring some kind of chemical on it, but I doubt you would have 6 just around in a circle, or 4 around in a circle. Alright, so here's our first collectible, and it is this little box. So those are probably the mini kits. If I was to guess, 10 of those will make a mini kit creation that will then give you some amount of studs when you get all 10. Do the things that are needed disappear? I would say probably not, because if you needed a certain number to build something, it would be silly for them to disappear, and then you'd be unable to open the door in this case, or do something else in other cases. All kinds of studs hidden around here. Nothing else in the room, so now's the time to build something. We go up here and we press B. Spin LEGO loot you've collected to create something new. Press left and right on the D-pad to select the required loot, and A to spend it. Interesting. So I have to match it. It's a match game, alright. So he wants 4 of these silver crystals next, so swap around, give that. Now he wants 5 of the green crystals, so swap that. I think we have the exact right amount. And then he wants 1 diamond. I have 4 diamonds, so well, maybe he wanted 4 diamonds. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see, the text is a little small at a 1080p resolution. Press X, A, B, or Y when the glow appears to fill up the forge ring. Forge ring. Okay. So they're referencing the ring here for no reason other than they might as well. And it's a matching game.
The skill of the dwarves was unequaled, fashioning objects of great beauty out of diamond, emerald, ruby, and sapphire.
Look at that key. That is a nice looking key. And I did not see the giant hammers coming down. That was pretty funny. Pretty good gag. I don't recall any really good gags in LEGO Lord of the Rings. Looks like I can see several collectibles here. The game wants us to play as this character, I think. Inhabitants of Middle-earth can help you when you give them the items they need. When you find the item, press B when standing near the glowing blue ring to give it to them. So if I take this, I have the blue ring show up, give it to him. He's happy, yay. Now, literally, I think there's only 2 characters in the Hobbit story that I would even be able to name to you right now. One is Frodo. I guess I also know Bilbo is mentioned, so technically maybe 3 characters, but I don't think Bilbo Baggins actually takes any actual part in this story. I think it's just he was mentioned at the beginning, so this is set up as a flashback. And it's all a little silly because The Hobbit was almost obviously, I mean, it's hard to argue that when you read it from what I've heard, that The Hobbit was supposed to be its own separate book, and then he went, J.R. Tolkien went backwards and added elements to The Lord of the Rings to try and connect the two, to make it a several books. So what am I trying to do? Ooh, another match game. I guess you're supposed to get inside the middle of this ring. And if I get it right in the middle, I just have to hit once. Nice. It's a little weird because in LEGO games we've always had to break things to accomplish things. Now we have to break things to get studs, and now we have to break and to get other collectibles. You'll need LEGO loot to build this craft plate. LEGO loot can be found in other objects. That was certainly felt like it was time to happen as soon as we walked close to it. It puts the studs, which have been the main currency of LEGO games for every single game, on equal par almost with the other LEGO loot. And loot is probably the wrong term, but I like the alliteration there, the rhyming words. I would call it more LEGO materials. Because it's not, what we're getting is not unique items that would have any value in its own, just crafting materials for items that will have unique value. What we should check right now though is we should not hit the B there. I meant to hit Y. Hold down Y. And then look at our backpack and see if we got that key. We can't do extra characters right now, but in free play we will be able to. No? So we got the key, we built the key, we used it once, and then we were done with it. Interesting. In Lord of the Rings, you would build the key and, well, you do it in the overworld, and then you would have a key for your use every time. There's a something or other. We're gonna have to dig here, and I don't think any of the characters have the ability to dig. Let's see. What items do you have? An axe and a knife. And what items do you have? An axe and a hammer. So nobody has a shovel, which that will certainly be done in free play. So we hit that, then switch to wood because that's the next item, and then switch to rope, and then switch to, well, I can only guess that is iron. Complete the LEGO build by finding the correct missing pieces. Find them quickly and receive a larger stud bonus. So this is a 4 flat there, and then that. Oh, this is really cool. Why is this not in every single LEGO game? This is what I've been arguing is that should have been in so many LEGO games. Putting the actual building of Legos back into it. Uh, this seems so right, and it's not like super forcing the kid to feel like he needs to go buy Lego sets, which can be expensive, certainly. But this is like real Lego building, and we don't get this. It's always been a fast build, and we're getting bonus studs for doing this like crazy. Well, we would be if we were faster on it. We got like 10,000 studs. That is literally just like jaw-droppingly different from what you normally would have done. Normally, I would have had to just hold the B button down, and then that would have been the entire solution to the building it. You would just hold down the B button and it would automatically have built everything for you. I'm not getting any really sweet hits here.
Ever they delve deeper down into the dark, and that is where they found it. The Arkenstone, the heart of the mountain.
Like,
but Thror's love of gold had grown too fierce. A sickness had begun to grow within him, and where sickness thrives, bad things will follow.
the kite and everything is getting blown backwards. A pig.
The first
The
they
kid
heard
got
was a noise
pulled
like
away.
a hurricane.
Bolin, sound the alarm.
What is it?
Dragon. Dragon!
He was a fire drake from the north. This city of men was nothing. For dragons covered gold with a dark and fierce desire. Smaug had come.
Smog, yeah. I remember that name now. Use the save stone if you need a rest, press B to activate it. Sure. Well, how do I get in front of it? Gotta kind of be careful there. Use flail, such as the one carried by that guy, on the golden Lego hooks. To be too full. I'm still so dumbfounded by the actually building something Lego in a Lego game. Why was this not in Lego Marvel Superheroes? I think that's was newer than this game. Why was it not in every Lego game since the beginning? Yeah, that really opens the door to the remake thought, which I think they should do. I think they should start working their way towards. You'll need two characters to buddy up Smash. Press B to buddy up and then X to make the smash. So I can do something like this. Interesting. That's cool too. Buddy up with your characters since they're all small characters in size. This will be the first Lego game where most of the characters will be able to crawl into the Lego hatches. So I bet we don't use the Lego hatches very often, although we've already seen it used once. Unlike every other game where they struggle to find one character that they could claim as slightly shorter or smaller than the others. Lego Star Wars being a prime example of that young Anakin being about the only person you could do. Here we have the shiny silver Lego pieces. We'll need something explosive almost certainly to get through that in free play. Need 2 characters to buddy up again. I hope they eventually tell us why Smaug decided to attack. Let's see. Do we walk next to it? Or do we walk on it? Walk on it. Okay. Now, as best as I can tell, none of this happened around Frodo. I haven't seen Frodo as a character or anything. So he's telling us of something that happened where and he wasn't even there, it seems like. Yeah, none of those characters look like Frodo. Good looking Lego dragon character. It would be kind of ironic if that stone was the stone that made the One Ring.
Death was dealt that day.
But I don't believe that's the case. I think this takes place after Sauron tried to take over the world the first time and before he tries to take over the world the second time. We got our standard Lego fire here. Slaying everything to... I may get the bar filled. It might actually be a mistake to do that, though, because we don't have any of the score multipliers or anything. But I'll do it anyways. Why not? So yeah, that's how you normally would build something in Lego. Over and over again you would run into things like that. I wouldn't mind if there was some kind of online PC version only. Kind of like Lego Worlds is trying to be, but not. But Lego Worlds still has a lot of work to do and it's not. It's in early access stuff. But I wouldn't mind if there was a PC game where you just built actual Lego kits and they didn't put any more story to it than that. It's just like, you pay the $60 here and we'll give you every Lego kit that was available up to that point. $60 would actually be incredibly cheap if it was every single Lego kit released up to 2016. And then DLC for maybe another $30, $40, $50 even, I would think, to get the next season kit. That would still be a lot cheaper than trying to buy even a 3 or 4 cheap Lego kits, because they tend to go about $30 each, and the more expensive ones go a lot more than that. The most expensive ones are $300-400. Now, of course, you're getting some physical plastic toy with that too. But I think there might be a balance there if you could build a lot of kits. A lot of kits, as far as Lego, like the Lego Death Star, the Lego Taj Mahal, are two of the biggest and kind of most rarest that's not the rarest collections there are. There's like, I think London Bridge is the actual largest number of pieces. But each one of those are very, very expensive and out of print. So even if they had a game that only gave us the best and most expensive ones that we could build in a fun fashion. Wow, I just sunk into gold and drowned. Oh, I see now why the dragon would have wanted to attack here. It makes all the sense in the world. Dragons love gold. I think it makes a soft bed for them to sleep on. Use the flails on the gold Lego hooks. Press A and X while it's in the air to swing. Y? No. Why did it tell me to hit Y? When swinging, other dwarves such as can jump on you in the swing anyways. Press Y towards them to grab it. Alright. Okay, now I see. Can I move forward without that? No, I need another character. Let's work this guy this direction. There we go. There's like a bad guy on the top of this thing, it seems like. Maybe not a bad guy, maybe just a dwarf. That's the king. And we get the standard Lego chase. Wow, I am moving really fast here. I don't feel like I'm in control. I feel like I'm just getting pushed around. I'm not even sure. I'm playing as the king. Oh, that might explain why they switched characters on me. I missed another collectible. That's alright, we'll get them later.
Erebor was lost.
Maybe this audio is from the movies, but it sounds good. It sounds a lot better.
Thranduil would not risk the lives of his kin against the wrath of the dragon. No help came from the elves that day, nor any day since. The young dwarf prince never forgave, and he never forgot.
And that's why you make friends, I would say. Greatest Kingdom in Middle Earth complete. So we have Thorin Young, so there will be a Thorin Old, Thrain, Bone. Two characters with names very similar. Thor. Man, J.R. Tolkien was bad at naming things. Man, that is ridiculous. New characters available to buy. And then you can see at the very bottom there I have some DLC characters. And we got 127,000 studs. We'll probably need to get up to 5 million, 10 million to get all the score multipliers. We didn't fill up the bar, so we don't know what that bar is called quite yet. We got one mini kit piece. And we have unlocked events in the area for the open world. So the question is this going to we get a mithril brick? Yeah, we're just going to continue the story. So this is the right point to end it. So, like LEGO Lord of the Rings, we collect mithril bricks instead of gold bricks. Fine. The red bricks are diagrams that is that little envelope with the red dot on it. We didn't find that. We're going to get 10 out of 10 mini kits for a collectible, and then 4 objects that are actually usable objects for events. So you'll find like an umbrella and give it to somebody who wants an umbrella. I like the design on this box of junk better than the first game. Overall, I like everything so far better than the first game. This is looking like a good improvement. I kind of am worried about the story holding up more than anything else. Anyways, we are done with this recording. Come back for the next one. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me even further, you can click on my name Rydo. That gets you to my main YouTube page. On the right there's a blue button that says support this channel. You can click that and make a donation. Also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab that you can click on to see a playlist for every game I've ever covered. I'm sure there's lots of things that will interest you. Plenty of other LEGO games I've covered. And then down below in the description box I have links to Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, and Battle.net. So please follow and friend me on all of those. That helps me out, lets you know when my newest videos are available. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.